Do You Believe in Werewolves? By Haley Brammer. Blast! Mia Caldwell exclaimed, slamming her fist on the steering wheel. What is it now? Jen asked. We're in the middle of nowhere and your car stopped. This is just great. Chillax. You freak over the stupidest things, you know? There was a flash and a huge crash. Jen screamed. Mia, what are we going to do? We're stranded. I'll figure something out. Mia popped the hood, turning off the wipers before she stepped out. Mia felt mud oozing into her shoes as she walked to the front of the car. The wind roared, slapping her face with a torrent of rain, stinging mercilessly. She hunched over the engine and immediately found the problem. She lunged into the car as the lightning crashed again. Well? Jen demanded. The battery's dead. Dead! She exclaimed. It's more lifeless than a rock, I'm afraid. Oh, what are we going to do? Get your suitcase. There's a town just down the road. We'll find a place to spend the night and get the car fixed in the morning. To Mia's surprise, Jen didn't give any fuss. They lugged their suitcases as they trudged on. The mud slowed them down. Something howled behind them. Jen grabbed Mia's arm. What was that? Mia shook off Jen's sweaty palms, breaking free from her friend's white-knuckled grip. I swear, you're easier to scare than a 2-year-old in the dark. It was nothing, just the wind playing tricks on us, Mia replied, wishing she believed her own words. I'm scared, Jen confessed. We're fine. Nothing's gonna happen. Despite Mia's encouragement, Jen walked close to Mia and refused to stay out of Mia's personal space until they reached the town. We're in luck. There's a hotel, and there's rooms available, Mia said, going to the door. Mia, that's a creeping-looking joint. Do we really have to stay there? It's either here or in the middle of the street. Fine. The door creaked open as they entered, and it slammed shut of its own accord. Mia went forward to the front desk, and Jen stayed behind to guard the suitcases. No one was at the desk, so Mia tapped on the small bell that sat there. Instead of the delicate, tinkling noise she had expected to hear, the crash of a gong seemed to reverberate throughout the room. The room itself was poorly furnished, with nothing more than a threadbare carpet, the desk, a lamp, and one wooden chair. The curtains were full of tears and holes, probably the result of moths. Welcome. I'm Madame Walker. I own this hotel. What can I do for you? The woman's accent reminded Mia of a vampire in a 1960s film that she'd watched just yesterday with Jen. Do you have a room we can use for the night? Our car broke down, so we're stranded. We need a place to sleep. We do have one room left. All the others are occupied. It's on the 4th floor, Madame Walker answered. That's fine. We'll take it. I will get your key. Thank you, Mia said, motioning for Jen to join her by the desk. A voice from behind startled them. You're awfully brave to sleep in that room. Haven't you heard the stories? A man asked. He was tall, with a deathly pale face and unkempt, shaggy hair. Dark circles formed beneath his bloodshot eyes. We're not superstitious, Mia replied stiffly. What stories? Jen piped in. One night, a man stayed in that very same room. Now, he made a mock of the supernatural. Then at midnight, we could hear howls and a scuffle in that room. We were too scared to investigate that night. When we went to the room the next morning, his door was still locked from the outside, and the window was shut. But he was nowhere to be found. What happened to him? Jen bit her nails, what she always did when she was terrified. Some say he was punished for his disbelief, and the werewolf ate him. They say the werewolf visits that same room every night to make sure its inhabitants respect him. Mia, we can't stay there. Let's get a different room. Jen, it's the only one, and that's just a story. Werewolves aren't real, Mia exclaimed, taking the key from Madame Walker. Are you sure? Jen asked. Yes, I'm sure, Mia replied. I'd be careful if I were you, the man pointed at Mia. You don't believe. He hates that. He'll be coming for you. Lock your windows and doors, and leave on a light. Good night. Sleep tight. The man walked away. The stairs creaked in protest as Mia practically dragged Jen up to their room. After a clamor of banging suitcases and struggling girls, they finally reached it. Their room was secluded at the very end of the hall. Mia pulled out the key. Before she could insert the key into the keyhole, however, the door swung open. I guess housekeeping forgot to lock the door last time they were here, Mia suggested in response to Jen's whimper. You're right. After turning on the lights, they saw that the room was quite a decent one. It was well furnished, but styled in the same way as the lobby. But the rugs, carpets, blankets, and curtains looked brand new. They couldn't have been used much. Half an hour later, Mia and Jen were curled up in the bed, the door and window securely locked. Jen, who insisted on having a lamp, was hugging her knees, humming none too quietly. After several minutes, Mia had had enough of her childish behavior. Would you please stop acting like a child? I would like to sleep. I'm not acting like a child. Yes, you are. You jump at every thunderbolt, you scream whenever a branch hits the window or the wind howls, and now you insist on humming and leaving the light on. That's childish. No, it's not. I'm just... Without warning, the room went black. There was a blood-curdling scream. Jen, stop it! Jen, get a hold of yourself! Jen! Mia yelled, shaking her friend. Jen stopped and instantly began biting her nails. Relax, a fuse probably just blew. I'll go down to the front desk and let them know. You wait here. Don't leave that spot. Okay. Mia walked downstairs, not realizing that the halls were illuminated just by candlelight. Madam Walker, our lights just went out. Can it be fixed soon? No, I'm sorry. The whole building is out of powder. It will have to wait till the morning. All right. Thank you anyway. Mia hurried back upstairs. As she got to their door, she stopped. Was she imagining it? Or did she hear a dog-like panting behind her? Mia could hear her hands scrabbling and ripping at the lock with the key in her sudden fear. Not until she had slammed and relocked the door did she realize that something was terribly wrong. Jen was nowhere in sight. Rain poured into the room through the window, and the curtains began to billow in the wind. A trail of blood ran from the bed to the sill, where the rain began to wash it away. Hundreds of thoughts raced through her head as she ran all over the room, searching and yelling Jen's name. Suddenly she heard a reply. Mia! Help me! Help! Mia! The voice from outside screamed. Mia raced to the window. Jen was clutching to the sill, something obviously trying to pull her back. Blood was covering most of Jen's body. Adrenaline surged through Mia's veins as she yanked Jen away from the attacker, pulling Jen into the room. Mia slammed the window shut and locked it. Jen! Mia screamed. What happened? Are you okay? She asked, even though she thought she knew the answer. Mia, get out of here. It's coming for you. Jen labored to get the words out, obvious terror in her eyes. Jen, hold on. It's going to be fine. I'll get you out of here. Jen, can you hear me? Hold on, Mia yelled. Jen's chest stopped rising and falling. No, Jen, don't do this to me. Jen! 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 Mia shook her friend. Jen's eyes rolled back, and her head lolled limply to the side. Mia had never before known pure terror. She wanted to back away, but she couldn't pull her hands from Jen's face. In the hall, Mia could hear a thud, then another thud. The thuds became a clamor, but Mia paid it no mind. Her whole body was numb. She had no control over her body. Run! Get out of here! Before it's too late, her mind told her. But her body refused to follow the order. Behind her, the noise escalated, becoming a violent crash. Then suddenly it ceased. "Move! Get out!" she thought. Somehow, above the hammering of her heart, she heard the knob turn, and the door creaked open. "Turn around! Get up! Run!" she screamed. Her whole body was as heavy as lead. Behind her, she heard the panting. She stopped, remaining motionless, not even breathing. Then the panting turned into a growl.